Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the first open-world Pokemon games, which means things can get pretty overwhelming, even for a veteran like myself that started playing back in Red and Blue. With complete freedom to explore comes the complete freedom to get lost, or not be able to find what you're looking for. So after playing through the entire game, in the first day I made it to the credits and everything. Don't worry, this video doesn't have any spoilers. I want to do a video with some beginner tips that should help out with your early game Pokemon adventure to help you get settled in this crazy new open world. So if you enjoy the video, or if it helps out in any way, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. First, let's talk about obedience. This is an open world game, which means nothing is stopping you from fighting level 50 Pokemon at the start. Which means nothing is stopping you from using a quick ball and soft resetting until you eventually catch that level 50 Pokemon. Well, except for low catch rates and the obedience system. So obedience used to be non-outsider Pokemon would always listen to you, but starting with Pokemon Legends, since you could also find very high level Pokemon in very early game areas, now it's based on what level the Pokemon was caught, even if you're the one that caught the Pokemon. So it starts at level 20 for 0 badges, and then every badge you get, it goes up by 5, until you eventually hit level 55 with 7 badges, and then your 8th badge means every Pokemon will obey you. Now, because it's based on what level the Pokemon was caught, if you catch a Pokemon under the threshold and then you use experience candies or train it to get above that threshold, it will obey you. Except I noticed something interesting with overleveled disobedient Pokemon. It seems like they will always obey you inside of a Terra raid. I was feeling spicy in the open world, so I jumped ahead. At 0 badges, I caught a level 39 Dugtrio. This Pokemon rarely listened to me, however, in Terra raids, it always worked, and because the level of Terra raids also scales with the amount of badges you had, I had a level 39 Pokemon in 1-star and 2-star Terra raids just tearing it up. So it seems like there is some cheese to be found inside the system. Speaking of Terra raids, if you can complete them, do it. The rewards are insane. Also, just catch the Pokemon. Maybe you're going to want that Terra-type combination at some point, or maybe someone else will want it and they'll trade you a rare Terra-type combination. But it's mostly the rewards at the end, because the candies are huge. If you were complaining about Pokemon Sword and Shield that you did too many Dynamax raid battles and then you use your candies and now you're over leveled and the game's easy, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is very challenging because of the open world, and it seems like there's a lot of high level challenges both early on and scaling into the late game. So you are going to want every candy to use for all the Pokemon that you can use them on. And now we get to talk about the legendary Pokemon because it's Pokeride. However, in the beginning parts of the game, you don't have access to all the cool stuff. You can't glide, you can't climb, you can't swim, and even small ledges seem to stump your Koraidon or Miraidon. How do you upgrade it? Is it Gym Challenge? Is it Team Star? Nope, it's the Titan storyline. And because the open world strikes again, I recommend doing the Titan route first. That you want to unlock as much as you can, as soon as you can, so you can explore as freely as you can. So it goes in this order. Running fast, which is also pretty good. Swimming, higher jumps, which is really good, and you're going to realize that shortly after getting it. Gliding, and then climbing. And climbing, that's an in-game boss kind of thing, so good luck. And when I say good luck, I mean get a Drifloon. Drifloon is one of the most invaluable Pokemon in the entire game. Even better if it's a Drifblim. Now you need to make sure it has the Aftermath ability, and what this does is if a Pokemon KOs you with a contacting move, that Pokemon loses a quarter of its health. Really good for boss Pokemon. Really good for anything that's higher level and giving you trouble, and it also makes Drifloon the ultimate revive fodder. You revive it, and then if you need to like heal up your Pokemon or revive other Pokemon, if they tag that with a contact hit, they're just taking a quarter of their health and damage, which could just turn into a KO or be a significant amount of damage enough to win the fight. Sure, it's cheesy, but if you don't have your team of 6 already 100% set, or you're just looking for a filler Pokemon, Drifloon is insane. Other Pokemon to consider picking up are pickup Pokemon. So there's a list of pickup Pokemon. Not all of them are in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. One that I found to be very accessible from early on is Phanpy. So like with any Pokemon game, if you've seen a Pokemon, you can find out its habitat and where to catch it. But because of the open world, this is a lot more important with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, since Pokemon seem to just kind of spawn wherever if you don't know exactly where it's spawning. So Drifloon, for example, appears at night in all of these places. Same thing for Phanpy. Also, Meowth has quite a large habitat, and it is a pickup Pokemon, but it is going to be a bit deeper into the game. But the cool thing about Phanpy is that you pretty much find it in most of the places of Drifloon, so if you get those two Pokemon together, then you are really setting up. And pickup, the higher level the Pokemon, the more rare items you get after a trainer battle or a wild Pokemon battle. Unfortunately, Let's Go does not trigger pickup, but even then, you're going to turn around and be like, oh, a free nugget. 5k, or just really useful items like certain potions, hyper potions, full heals, and then as you get higher levels, like, hey, I just got a full restore or balm mushroom. It gets pretty good. You might want to have at least one pickup Pokemon, and then you can get like super duper rare items like bottle caps or rare candies. Oh yeah, Greavard also gets pickup, and it turns out to be a pretty common Pokemon, so if you see like the little candle sticking out of the ground, go and get yourself a Greavard. This was my team, and I beat the game with it. Well, Quaquaval wasn't a level 100 when I did it, but you know, same idea. Just a Drifblim for the bailout, 4 pickup Pokemon, and an ace. You can do it. It's cool. And last, we have mystery gifts. So if you go to the Poke Portal, that's pretty much how mystery gifts have always worked. But maybe there's a few people that haven't played Pokemon before or a modern Pokemon game. So that's where you find it on the mystery gift. And depending on what's going on, sometimes you just get Pokemon via the internet. So I reclaimed the Flying Pikachu. It is a Pikachu that has Fly and the Flying Terra type. So it's a very special Pikachu. But the code or password, if you pre-ordered Pokemon Scarlet or Violet off the eShop, you actually got a code on your receipt. I think like Amazon and a few other places, like there should be a code with your receipt. Put that in right there, and you just get free items, like a nugget and a few other things, a rare candy. It helps. Can also check the mystery gifts, so this is what I got as my downloadable version purchase. 10 potions, 5 full heals, 3 revives. Like, doesn't sound like a crazy amount if you're deep in the game, but early on, really, really nice. And then by checking Poke Portal news, this functions like the special raid dens in Pokemon Sword and Shield. If there's an event going on, then you can find out what's going on in the Paldea region. First one's going to be Eevee. That's coming up in a few days. I'll be covering it like I'm covering everything. Yay, open world Pokemon game means more things to do than ever. It's going to be pretty busy. And then my last tip is going to keep with the trend of me saying the game is open world. Do whatever you want. Whatever allows you to have fun in this game is not the wrong choice. Do you want to burn through all of your money on cheesy revive strats to try to push level boundaries? Do it. There should also be no shame whatsoever in spamming X items. They are in the game. It's kosher. If you need said X items, you can find them at Chansey Supply. There's a couple of stores in the main city as well as scattered about the region. Same thing for the Delibird shop. You can just buy competitive items for money. No battle points needed. Also, you can do it with league points if you're short on money, and you can just power up your Pokemon. The more badges you get, the better the stock is as well. It gets nutty. You can buy nature mints with cash. It's nutty. If you want to play how you've always played, do it. If you want to spice things up, you have an entire world to do so in. I just really think that unlocking the Titan Pokemon as soon as you have the level for it, probably your best bet, and then finding those cool little cheeky strats and stuff can also add a lot of comfort to your game. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.